It is early in the morning. You should always start your day with a couple glasses of water. I feel like you got to get hydrated early in the morning, and it's especially important that you're hydrated for this segment because this level of cringe will give you a Charlie horse if you are not properly hydrated. Okay? This is the New Norm Show, the South Park of X. Legalize humor. Check out the mini pilot of the first animated sitcom on X featuring Larry Elder, Dave Rubin, and I forget this last guy's name, and a special appearance by an animated Elon Musk. Support this show and help fight the woke mind virus with laughter. Dave Rubin is crowdfunding for a show. Why doesn't he just put up some money for this show? Now, at first, I thought this was all just AI. Like,
Never do it with your own money.
Yeah, exactly. At first, I thought this was all AI, but apparently Rubin and Elder actually did do voiceover for this. So here is a 3.5-minute sampling of the anti-woke humor. This could probably premiere at the Dissident Dialogues Festival this year. This is the exact kind of thing that they would feature there. Let's take a look.
They'll have a round table with the creators.
With the creators, yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So here's the New Norm Show, the new anti-woke animated sitcom on X.
What's that?
Progress. It's the new norm.
The new norm ain't the same as the old norm. I'm the old norm. I want normal beer.
Warning, perimeter reached.
Ugh. It's your fault I got house arrest.
You're the one who threatened the school board.
I gently suggested
Yelled.
they stop brainwashing my daughter that girls aren't girls and men aren't men.
Sometimes they're neither, or both, or furry and dressed like dogs.
Ow! Janice! What's that?
Warning, offensive.
Actually, that is one of my pronouns. Also, they.
All right, I just want to point out, although it's this suburban landscape, this is the set from All in the Family.
Yeah. He should have had a free Palestine flag. I'm surprised they didn't do that. I'm surprised they didn't go there in this. They never went there, right? Because that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to put the ceasefire they're trying to lump the ceasefire protesters in with these people here, and I'm surprised they didn't go there for this.
It's okay. So they're satirizing the old Norman Lear kind of sitcoms that were topical, and those were the jokes, and you'd get these kinds of reactions from the audience because they were topical of ooh and right and okay. I mean, that meta part is kind of interesting. It's probably the most interesting thing about it, but everything within it sucks.
Yeah. Indeed. All right, so this is Dave Rubin. If you didn't recognize, this is Dave Rubin's voice as the non-binary masked up Gen Zer.
What's that?
Warning, offensive.
Actually, that is one of my pronouns. Also, they, them, and me.
You're non-binary?
How do you know that word?
I learned it in school.
That's why I'm locked up.
Norm, the judge agreed to conditional parole.
What condition?
Where's my room?
That's
You're
staying here?
Chaz is part of a new government program.
To re-educate homophobic, transphobic, racist.
Charlie, finally, someone normal.
One after the other.
I don't understand. You're black.
Did that just Black Whisper?
You're his friend?
And boss, speaking of, when you coming back to the trophy shop?
As soon as I get rid of this, which means I gotta take in that?
Offensive.
Chaz is here to re-educate Norm.
In non-bonery studies.
Offensive.
I'm allergic to dogs.
It's okay. Billy is an emotional support dog and non-binary.
Oh, okay then. Good dog.
I come here to get away from woke.
Trouble at home?
Oh, my boy, or whatever it calls themselves now, is thinking about transition.
It's like the only joke. It's like over and over again, playing on the it, the that, the they.
Reggie?
Try Regina.
Transitioning to what?
Another fumble.
Hopefully not a Jets fan.
Water, Sarah P. Water.
Hey, pronoun, this bud's for you.
Offensive.
I can't drink. I'm not 21.
Y'all influenced my boy to cut off his junk, but draw the line at beer?
Can't do this.
Yes, we can.
Find a way to break him. Maybe we can fix the country.
I just want normal beer.
You know there'll be jokes.
The new norm ain't the same as the old norm. Everything's changing and I don't know when.
And now Elon's
nightmare will end. Thank God for Elon Musk and his shitpost memes. X is the home for free speech.
I almost forgot. We're going to Disney World.
Make America funny again.
Oh boy. Wow. That is quite something. Yeah, Nocturnal Human, good observation. Terrible timing. Even if it was funny, it's rushed. You know, it's funny you mention that because there was that Dave Chappelle AI-generated deepfake video where somebody simulated a Dave Chappelle set with AI. And the visuals...
I only saw the Carlin one. Somebody did it with Chappelle?
Somebody did it with Chappelle with video. And it actually looked pretty convincing, though I knew something was off because he looked a lot younger than he is. And the visual was good. I mean, he was too young in the AI-generated video. But this was like an actual, like, filmed special. We should probably cover it. It's interesting. But, yeah, he was saying things that Dave Chappelle might say, but the timing was off. Comedy is all about timing. Anybody will tell you that.
Right,
and, yeah, this had no rhythm. There's no craft at work here. There's no mechanics at work here, which is why this got absolutely trolled. Now, it didn't get a ratio because there's a lot of people on Twitter for whom this appeals. That's why it's on Twitter. Yeah, right? The sort of douchebag dialogue crowd. But I love this. Comedy is legal again. I don't know why you didn't add any. That's a good one. Some of these were really fun. My biggest fear is enjoying content like this when I get old, says Andy. Jamal Chedani, probably one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. Not racist enough for me, says Irrational Chad. Who else we got? I love this one too. My depression went from seasonal to clinical after watching this. And listen, I commend you guys. So this was some honest feedback. Listen, I commend you guys for going out there and delivering an alternative to combat wokeness. But this is not funny and too spot on. Look at South Park for examples of execution because this is just pure cringe. And yes, apologize to South Park for the comparison. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, that's what's strange about this. We already have South Park. So what's the purpose? It's not like there is nothing out there challenging these ideas with talent.
Right.
So why are you doing this? That's what I'm saying. It was most interesting on the level of what if you did a sitcom in the style of Norman Lear like this? I thought the meta part of it was unintentionally interesting.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that part of it, it's almost like it almost is undermining what it's trying to do because it almost feels like this is something a woke person would do to satirize what conservatives would do if they tried to make a sitcom.
Exactly. Yeah. It plays like an inception of satire. Right. Like the woke satirizing the anti-woke. This is what they would do if they thought it was funny.
That's how it plays.
Yeah.
And as that goes, it's actually good. If you saw it through that lens, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
If you were like a woke person making fun of what a conservative sitcom would look like, that would be good.
Yeah, exactly. No, that is well said. And, you know, all right, aside from the craft being just absolutely awful, you know, there's an out of touchness to people who think like that shit is the most important thing going on in the world right now. Like in these severe times, that's all you have to say. That's why the dissident dialogue struck you the way it did, because like
Right.
you got a genocide going on, you have World War III brewing in Eastern Europe, you have people, struggling to get bills paid here. You have a lot going on in the world that's pretty dire, and you think what non-binary teenagers are like the most important thing you can talk about. If you had to satirize something, that's what you choose to hammer on over and over and over again. Like this crowd always criticizes, not wrongfully, how out of touch, the sort of elite ivory tower liberals are. They're not wrong about that. But aren't you out of touch in pretty much the same way? Like if you believe that combating their cultural bullshit trumps, the most important issues of the day, which are getting more severe by the day, then yeah, you're out of touch. You're just as out of touch as they are.
Well, that's the grift.
Right.
That's the grift. It's two sides of the same grift. The woke, the anti-woke, they need each other. They are there to keep people fighting over bullshit and staying out of the affairs of the people who really run things. Yes, yes, yes. Fight about your pronouns. Yes, yes, yes. They love that shit, and that's why it's encouraged. That's why it's platformed. That's why you find it everywhere. Look at how effectively, at one time, when you went to university, if you got radicalized, it was probably going to be into some variety of Marxism. That was the point of view of radical academics and radical professors. Over time, through donations, through grants, through promotions, they shifted the whole academic landscape towards identity issues to the degree that class analysis, it's not even on the radar of most people who have gone through the university system at this point. That's what they wanted. I had somebody the other day arguing with me, trying to tell me that queerness was a political act. Yeah, maybe in 1970,
right?
Not now, but this guy went to grad school. I said that's exactly what they wanted. They wanted people like you to think that's a politics,
right?
To think if that were a politics, Amazon wouldn't tweet it out.
Right.
Starbucks wouldn't put it on the side of a cup. You think you're ever going to see a hammer and a sickle on the side of a fucking Starbucks cup?
Right.
You think you'll never see that because that's a threat. That's an actual threat. But this is the thing. The anti-woke people, because the woke people tend to see themselves as establishment aligned, even as they say that queerness is this radical act. They see themselves. They identify with the establishment. The anti-woke people see themselves as anti-establishment. And they will not say a word, even so, that is in any way a threat to the establishment. That's what you really saw at the douchebag dialogues with their State Department foreign policy, which at this point, I have to say, I think they're paid. I think they work with the State Department. I think they work with intelligence services. It just doesn't make sense that you would have all these people who see themselves delusionally, but see themselves as dissidents. None of them have a different opinion about Ukraine. Not one. None of them have a different opinion about Iran. None of them have a different opinion about Gaza. Not one. Not one. That's an op, man. That's an op. Come on, man. And that's the purpose of this. And also to take a lot of the working class, blue collar audience that's frustrated by the culture wars, but also frustrated by economics, and keep them obsessed with the one and not the other. To see woke and anti-woke as being in conflict, you're missing the point. You're missing the point. For the people who really, really benefit from the way society is arranged, it's all one thing. It's all one thing. They want people talking about this fucking shit, which now with the world degrading the way that it is, yeah, it 2 years ago maybe that was relevant. It just plays as increasingly out of touch.
Yes.
Like who still thinks these are the issues?
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Please clap.